Assalamu alaikum. Your host Ali Dogar once again with another episode with you. Tonight I have my friend, the person that we all Pakistani really like in my studio tonight. I already questioned him. It's late, but he's working really hard to prove that he can deliver for Bramptonians something that nobody has delivered. And I have seen the passion, and I have seen something in this person, in this guy, working hard day in and day out for the betterment of the Bramptonian. That's why I requested. Welcome on my show, Mr. Patrick Brown. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Well, thanks for having me on your show.
Okay, my first question to you, very direct, I'm going to ask you. Working from kind of 16 hours to prove to the Bramptonian that you are the best to serve them, 4 years to uplift them and make Brampton a great city. Do you think this is very hard job? Why do you want to do this job?
I love Brampton. I live downtown Brampton near Gage Park, and I see this beautiful community that my family's been in for 40 years going in the wrong direction. I want to see Brampton back on track, and that's what motivates me. This is about turning the city around. This is an incredible city, and I'm not going to stand idly by and see poor political leadership do a disservice to the city.
So, what you just said is that city is not on track at this moment. Mm-hmm. We need to bring it back. Mm-hmm. Give me 3 top things that you see that this city is not on track because of this, because of this, because of this. What are those top 3?
Only 3?
Yeah, top. I know there are so many.
Taxes are now higher than Toronto's for the first time. Brampton's taxes under Linda Jeffrey have skyrocketed. Mm-hmm. Crime is through the roof. Last year was a record year for shootings. This year is even worse. We've had 20 homicides. Crime is out of control. And jobs, we don't have good paying jobs in Brampton. We're becoming a bedroom community under Linda Jeffrey. We have 65% of our city that leaves Brampton each day to go to work outside of our city. I don't want this to be a bedroom community. I want Brampton to have good paying jobs here.
And that's good. I like the passion, but I want to understand, my viewers want to understand, whole Canada want to understand. That's a very good passion, to be honest, to create more jobs. We want to know what are those number of steps that you're going to take that will create that kind of number of jobs that you are wishing, or is just a wish?
So we need to be aggressive on economic development. People ask, why did Hazel get so many jobs in Mississauga? 30 years ago, Brampton and Mississauga had about the same amount of commercial square feet of office space. Today, Brampton has 2 million, Mississauga has 50 million. That's political leadership. Hazel went out and cold called businesses. She would cold call businesses, pitch them about Mississauga, tell them to come view her employment lands. She was hungry. And we're lazy in Brampton. Our mayor is lazy and lethargic, and she doesn't go out there and hustle for businesses. Let me give you an example. Mm-hmm. Dixie Cup announced they're leaving Brampton this summer. And big business gone. She did nothing to keep them here. I look at Amazon. Amazon, it would have been natural for them to put their fulfillment center in Brampton. Natural. Because they got the warehouses here with Amazon. Mm-hmm. Instead, Amazon's putting their fulfillment center, 800 good paying jobs in Caledon. Oh, yeah, really? But the Caledon mayor, he went and knocked on their doors. He was hungry. He was enthusiastic. He was energetic. He went and pitched Caledon. Why are we not doing that? You want to sell a home if you're a real estate agent, you go out and promote it. You want to win a hockey game, you go and fight for the puck. You want to win a soccer game, you go and chase the soccer ball. But right now, in Brampton, we're waiting for investment to come to us, and you can't sit back. You can't wait. You got to be hungry. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure we are aggressive in economic development. I'm going to take a page out of Hazel's book and bring energy back to the city of Brampton, saying we want to bring jobs, investment to this city. I'm going to create an environment where businesses want to be, where businesses can grow again, invest again, and hire again.
To be honest, I like the energy, I like the passion, I like the approach. That you have to be aggressive, you have to be kind of proactive rather than passive in terms of approach, right? Going towards if you need something rather than you wait something comes to you. That's a wonderful. I like the approach. If you are elected, if Bramptonian give you a chance 4 years, give me top 3 priority items that you are going to execute sitting on your chair. Say 1, 2, 3. I know that there are so many things that you can fix, but what's high priority 3 things?
Number 1, I'm going to make sure Brampton is safe. It's going to be a safe community. I'm going to get skyrocketing crime under control. That's number 1. Number 2, aggressive economic development. I'm going to make sure we bring jobs and investment to Brampton. Number 3, I'm going to freeze the municipal property taxes, the municipal portion of your property taxes for the next 4 years. Freeze them. No more skyrocketing taxes. I know Linda Jeffrey is okay with taxes going up 5% a year. I'm not. I know people live on fixed incomes, and we're going to freeze the property taxes.
Top 3 priorities. I like that. Wonderful. So the quality of the people is the most important aspect of the life that need to be given. That is the first right. And insurance is high. Taxes are high. I drive 2 vehicles and I'm paying $600 every month just for I was in Calgary. I was paying $100 for 1 vehicle. That is also something that we want to control. I just want to understand, is this a city job or this like insurance is a provincial or this is a different subject?
Insurance is a provincial responsibility.
Okay.
Having said that, I was in provincial politics. I know the file quite well. When I was the opposition leader, I pushed to end geographical discrimination in auto insurance. Right now, an insurance company can charge more based on what postal code you live in. I put forward a proposal that says we would ban that. I hope the new government will honor that idea that I put forward, that proposal I put forward. I think it's equitable. I don't think it's right that people in Brampton have to pay massive insurance rates when someone in Caledon next door doesn't have to. It's not right. It's not fair.
It's not fair. Okay, I just came to know, I was reading that 40% is a mental related kind of crimes reported to Brampton City. What do you have to kind of, I heard there is a city called Hamilton, they started a program called Coast. So are you going to introduce kind of that, or what do you have in your mind?
42% of the Peel police calls were mental health related.
Yeah.
And so what they do in other communities is they have a Coast program where you have a police officer and a mental health worker respond to a call. Once it's deemed the person is non-violent, the police officer can go back to fighting crime, and the mental health worker can focus on taking care of that individual and making sure they're admitted to the hospital. Right now in Brampton, we have police officers waiting 6 to 8 hours in the hospital. It's the wrong use of resources. I want police officers fighting crime. And unfortunately, our political leaders have failed to recognize that. Where other cities have evolved to handle the challenges associated with mental health, Brampton hasn't.
So I heard, I had Lindahl's in my show before you. When I asked the same question, when are you conceiving, I will say use the word conceive, a downtown that look like downtown? How quickly you can bring investors into the city that can kind of work on bigger project like 40-story building or 30-story building?
I want to see a revitalized downtown. A strong community has a vibrant downtown, and right now, our mayor has abandoned the downtown, and so I want to make sure we have activity there, that we have a revitalized downtown. Frankly, the mayor pitched us we were going to get this university in the downtown, and she lied to us. She let us down. We're not getting a university. We're getting a 3rd satellite campus. We already have Sheridan, which has 12,000 students. We got Algoma, which is at 1,000 growing to 2,000. And now she's going to bring us a Ryerson satellite campus that only teaches cybersecurity. It's going to be smaller than a high school. It's going to be smaller than Algoma and Sheridan. And so the fact that she promised us university, we're not getting it, is very disappointing. Markham, she went up against Markham and Milton. Markham's getting 10,000 students. So 5 times our size. Milton's getting the same that Brampton is. So, she let us down. She went to the province and she came back empty-handed. And, I'd love Brampton to have a University of Brampton. That would be an economic stimulus for the city. But we're not getting it. Because once again, she hasn't done adequate advocacy on behalf of the city.
So you're saying the university which is being called a university is not actually a university, just a small campus?
Just a satellite campus.
Satellite. And no teacher is actually going to be on ground and in this classroom?
It's just
is it virtual?
They're teaching cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity virtually?
Not virtually, it's cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity. Only one subject?
Yeah, it's just cybersecurity right now.
Maybe to start with, after that it's going to be...
That's what her plans are right now. That's it. That's all we've been approved for.
So no other approval, no extension, nothing?
No, I'm going to push for it though. I want to see more. I don't want to see just a small satellite campus. I want us to have a major university presence in Brampton.
Yeah, because it's almost 500,000 people city.
More than 500,000.
More than 500,000 people, not even one university, no LRT. What about LRT? There is a $4 million for LRT, and I heard that it may get cancelled.
So Linda Jeffrey signed a deal with the province that we'd have LRT go through the downtown and stop. So you get the single lane in the downtown. It would have an old-fashioned streetcar with all the wires go down the downtown, block all the traffic. It'd create a mess. She signed a bad deal. The cost for this would range from 200 to 400 million. Scarborough got offered the same thing, the old-fashioned streetcar. They said no. They said, we don't want that, we want a subway. Vaughan got offered the old-fashioned streetcar. They said, no, we want a subway. So Vaughan now has a beautiful subway. Scarborough is getting $3 billion. So let me ask you this. Why is Brampton getting 1/10 of what Scarborough's getting? Brampton's bigger than Scarborough. But Linda Jeffrey seems to be happy. She celebrates when we get leftover scraps, peanuts. Enough. We're the 9th largest city in Canada. We need to stop having a mayor who celebrates consolation prizes, who celebrates getting leftover scraps. I want to demand our fair share. We pay the same provincial and federal taxes, and you know what? We deserve to have the same quality transit, the same quality healthcare, the same quality services should be in Brampton. But we need a mayor who's going to fight for us and stand up for the city of Brampton.
Patrick, believe me, this all is so wonderful that you have that passion. You're so knowledgeable about Brampton, but some people say Patrick doesn't belong to Brampton. He came from another city, which is far, cold. So that's kind of the feeling. Other people are throwing that as a negative for you to kind of penetrate into the Bramptonian, that he doesn't belong to Brampton.
So Linda Jeffries tried to lie to the public. You know, she said, "Oh, Patrick's not from Brampton," and then she found out I live in right near Gage Park in the downtown. And so then she said, "Well, you know, he hasn't been here as long as she has." Well, before I was an MP, I practiced law in Brampton 14 years ago. My dad's been practicing law for decades. My dad's been here for decades. But here's the thing, you know, it shouldn't be a competition of who's been here the longest. It's ideas that matter. And let me say this. You know, the mayor said she's been a 35-year resident and, you know, you should only run for mayor if you've been here that long. I'm offended by that. You know why? This is the land of opportunity. In Canada, it's not whose parents have been here the longest. It's not who's been a member of the country club the longest. Following Linda Jeffries' logic, Amarjot Sandhu, our new MPP in Brampton West, couldn't be an MPP because 10 years ago he was an international student. It doesn't matter where you're born. It doesn't matter where you come from. Exactly. What matters is your heart, your work ethic, your determination. You know, these old school politicians like Linda Jeffrey, you know, who think it's about who's been here the longest, they're out to lunch with what it means to be a Canadian. To be a Canadian, it's about ideas. It's about determination, right? That's what it's about. And if any city, you know, you look at Brampton, we're a mosaic of the world. We don't say who's been here the longest. We say, what are you going to contribute to make our city even better?
Viewers, look at the passion this man has. And he's clear in his thought. He has the path moving forward. He has the answer of all those negativities are being thrown on him. He got wonderful ideas, to be honest. He's energetic, he's young, he's a young blood politician who has proven to kind of bring a lot of different people from a lot of different dimensions together. And I have seen people are working for him day in and day out, putting his sign, working voluntarily. He's a wonderful guy. I'm going to come back because I have a lot of other questions for you. We'll be back in a second. Thank you so much. Okay, viewers, let's come back one more time and talk to a man who is really, really considered to be a very competitive candidate for mayor in Brampton. Other candidates are scared of this man because he got passion. He got a drive which not a lot of people has. Starting early morning and going late and thinking all the time how Brampton can be the best city. Brampton is the 9th largest city in Canada. 9th largest city in Canada. But in terms of resources, it doesn't have what it is supposed to have as compared to other cities of the same magnitude, I will say that, of the same volume, I will say that. So let me give you one more time, Patrick Brown, again. Patrick, my question to you. My question to you is, we don't have a lot of recreation center in Brampton, just like Cassie Campbell. I used to go there. I never got a chance to kind of even swim there because half an hour, you get ready, go to the water, say, hey, your time is up, come out.
So I'm going to build enhanced recreation in Brampton. I want us to have the best recreation in the GTA. You want to fight crime, give young people a place to go. You want to have preventative health care so you use the hospital less, give young people recreation. So we're going to build world-class recreation. And I'm going to have a place where we can have world-class tournaments. I'm going to have a stadium, a sports stadium, just like they do in Ottawa.
Yeah.
I want to have the G20 cricket tournament. I want to have it in Brampton. I want to host major sporting events in Brampton. And as mayor, I'm going to invest in recreation. It's important for this city.
Okay, wonderful, awesome. Okay, one more thing. Faith-based organizations are working. And other faith-based organizations are getting the bigger portion of whatever the spending city has been given to other faith-based organizations as compared to Muslim. We have this land, we have paid land on the corner of Clementine and Mavis. And we have the money to even build now. $1 million is already there. I have seen their account.
And the mayor has blocked it so far.
And I don't know why that is not being approved properly. What are you going to do for that?
Let me say, the mayor's leadership and support for the Muslim community has been abysmal. Abysmal. You know, Great Lakes Masjid wanted a crosswalk. Her office said no. Maki Masjid, she promised 4 years ago there'd be street lights. She promised 4 years ago no street lights. Now you look at Project Ibrahim on Clementine. Anwar Chatha has done a great job putting a proposal for a great project, and City Hall keeps on saying no. Keeps on saying no. This is a great project. It has my full support, and I'm very honored that Anwar Chatha is supporting my campaign. Listen, you look at the mayor's office, there's not a single member of the community. It's very clear she has not been a consistent friend to the community, and you know that I always have been. And I'm honored by the support we're getting from the Muslim community, and you know my history. I was the only PC leader in Canada to support the motion condemning Islamophobia. And I did so because hate is hate is hate. And I don't care what your faith is. In Canada, we stand up for any community that is being discriminated against. You know, when we had the Syrian refugee crisis, I went with Islamic Relief Canada to volunteer in a refugee camp in Lebanon. And the reason I did is I wanted to show our love for the community. And so for those disappointed about the mayor's lack of support for Project Ibrahim, for lying to the Maki Masjid, for letting down the Great Lakes Masjid, for those disappointed there's not a single member of the community in her office, let me say a vote for Patrick Brown will represent a new relationship, a new day, and starting October 22nd, we can have a city hall where the community really has a voice and a friend.
Wonderful, awesome. Viewers, did you see what Patrick Brown is thinking about? This program is most viewed program in South Asian community, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. And I have Patrick Brown in front of you. I had Linda also in my show. It's your judgment. It's your judgment. The passion versus an existing mayor who has an existing project. The person who has the energy, who has the drive, that's your choice, where you want to go. Patrick Brown, this is your camera. I would like you to ask for the vote because there's 20 days left, 20 days from 19 days left. Bramptonians are watching you. They want to hear from their expected or someone they want to see in the city hall. What do you want to say?
Well, let me say, first of all, thank you for watching tonight. We live in a great city, but we should not settle for mediocre political leadership. We have been let down. Crime is going through the roof. Taxes are higher than Toronto's for the first time in Brampton. Traffic is a mess. The 410 is a parking lot. We don't have two-way, all-way go, and we don't have jobs in Brampton. We're increasingly becoming a bedroom community. I will not settle for that. Brampton used to be the envy of Canada. This was Bill Davis's Brampton. People were excited to live here. People were proud to live here. I'm going to work my heart out to make sure this is a city that once again is the envy of Canada. We're going to make it a safe community. We're going to bring jobs and investment to Brampton. We're going to create conditions in Brampton where businesses can grow again, invest again, and hire again. We're going to have top-notch recreation. We're going to be aggressive to making sure that we are a city that gets our fair share in healthcare dollars, transit, education. This city is going to be back on track. And so if you have doubts about Brampton now, don't. Vote for change on October 22nd. You're going to have a city that is spectacular. And if you want to volunteer, if you want to get involved in my campaign to help get Brampton back on track, you can go to our website at www.votepatrickbrown.com or follow us on social media, Patrick Brown ONT on Twitter and Instagram, or Vote Patrick Brown on Facebook. Thank you for your time, and let's get our city back on track.
Viewers, this is my job as a host of Say Everything on Z9. That is the name of my show, Sab Keh Dein, on Z9 with Ali Dogar. My job is to bring these candidates in front of you, talk to them, and bring whatever they have in their heart and record that. And then I, with you, we're going to monitor. Are they delivering what they just said? Because normally politicians make a lot of promises, but they don't deliver. That very little number of politicians there are who really see what they just said. I have heard very good reviews about Patrick Brown, and he has done a lot of whichever endeavor he went after, he made the difference. Thank you very much for watching my show, and keep watching my show, Say Everything on Z9. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.